Hello everybody, we are team 1 from in Tuesday class, and in this video our team will give you a small lecture about the balanced scorecard, which is really well known as the powerful tool to measure your company performance. So how will the decision you make today affect your business tomorrow? That is the most difficult question the manager can ask. But to answer it, they often rely on one single measure, which is financial or operational performance. So we can only overemphasize in the short terms. To win in the long term, manager needs to take more balanced view between both financials and operational measures, or even more. So besides use a set of measures that give a fast but comprehensive measure to be able to understand the performance of the company from a different points of view. So that's why the Kaplan and Norton have developed a strategic performance management called the The-Balanced-Scorecard. They examined the most successful businesses across the world and found the similarities in the way they were run. Each of the top performing business has a very clear vision and strategy that was managed across the key areas of finance, customer, internal processes, and knowledge roles to measure your company health. So what is the advantage of the balanced scorecards? The balanced scorecards meets several managerial needs. First, the scorecard brings together a single management report many seemingly disparate elements of the company competitive agendas. By becoming customer-oriented, shortening the response time, improving the quality, and emphasizing teamwork, reducing new product launch times, and managing for the long term. Secondly, by forcing senior managers to consider all the important operational measures together, the scorecard guards against sub-optimization. Sub-optimization means that you only focus on one perspective, only one measure only. So as a result, it has become an extremely powerful tool to ensure alignment through strategy maps, improve communication through a common language, and ultimately lead to a better performing organization that's into with its business strategies. So Kaplan Norton formulate this structure as the balanced scorecard, creating perspective in 4 key areas. First one will be the customer perspective, which focus on the customer satisfaction by answering the question that how customers see us. And secondly, the internal process perspective determines how well the business is running, whether we provide what our customer actually want. In other words, what we should be excel at. And thirdly, is the learning and roles perspective. By look at the people and their skill, training, leadership, and knowledge. By answering the question, how can we improve and create value? Finally, there is the financial perspective that look at top level financial objectives and measure to answer the question of how we look to our shareholders. So I will start with the customer perspective. How do customers see us? So a high level of customer satisfaction can dramatically impact your company's strategic success and your bottom line. That's why managers usually put the customer perspective at the top of their strategy map. The theory behind the balanced scorecard customer perspective is that you have to make your customer happy to sell them products and services, and in order to make your customer happy, you have to understand them. The challenge managers will face as they work through customer objectives and measure is in knowing what the customer actually wants. So to be the number one in delivering value to customer is typical mission statement. To place themselves in the customer's shoes, Kaplan Norton suggests managers should know and focus on four categories uh, that customer require, namely time, quality, performance, and services. First of all, the lead time measure the time required for the company to meet its customer needs. It is measured between the order time and delivery time. And secondly, quality measures the defect level of incoming products as perceived and measured by customers. Then the combination of performance and services measure how the company products or services contribute to the creating value for its customer, and it reflects on the sales maintenance. So we could be apply this perspective in the simulation, and what we are doing now by measures the quality of your services and the load factors, etc. So my friend will continue with the next perspective.
The next part of the balanced scorecard, which is internal business perspective, to satisfy stakeholder what must be our levels of productivity, efficiency, and quality to find what should be paid at. So this scorecard refers to the internal business process. These indicators in the scorecard allows managers to understand the business situation and products or services that meet the needs of the customer or not. After all, excellent customer performance derives from processes, decisions, and action occurring throughout an organization. So the second part of this balanced scorecard gives managers the internal perspective. Normally, signs of business operating smoothly gather from many small indicators, for example, like growth of the scale, cycle time, quality, employee skills, and productivity. And to achieve this goal on cycle time, quality, productivity, and cost, managers must devise measures that are influenced by employees' actions. That way, the measures link top management's judgment about key internal processes and competencies to the actions taken by individuals that affect overall corporate objectives. So, this linkage ensures that employees at lower levels in the organization have clear targets for actions, decisions, and improvement activities that will contribute to company overall mission. Besides that, in general, information systems play an invaluable role in helping managers. This aggregate the summary measures when an unexpected signal appears on the balance scorecard. Executives can query their information system to find the source of the trouble. Therefore, the company needs to review internal processes for classification where the department has done well and what is not yet reasonable. Then, if it's not yet reasonable, the business can give the task to improve the flaws of internal operational processes into the business strategic goal. In addition, companies should also attempt to identify and resource their company's core competencies, the critical technologies needed to ensure continued market leadership. Nextly, companies should decide what processes and competencies they must assert and specify measures for each. So, based on both ideas, we can know that how well the business is performing like self-assessment and review or learn from experience. In conclusion, the measures along the internal value chain for the first one is innovation, measures of how well the company identifies the customer future needs. And the second one, which is operations, measures of quality, cycle time, and cost. And finally, post-sales services, measures for quality, repair, and treatment of defects. So, these processes must be key to ensure a successful deployment of our strategy. These are the processes for creating long-term value that are capable of achieving the long-term financial goals of an organization.
Hello everyone, I'm Jung and I will continue to innovation and learning perspective. First of all, we will answer the question, can we continue to improve and create value A company's ability to innovate, improve, and learning tied directly to company value. That's the only through the ability to learn new products, create more value for customers, and improve operating efficiency continues can a company penetrate new markets and increase revenue and margins. In such grow and thereby increase shareholder values. The customer pay in internal business process measured on the balanced cost. Identify the parameter that the company consider more important for competitive success, but the targets for success keep changing, seen in global competitions. I give you example one price. ECI innovation method focused on the company's ability to develop and introduce standard and produce rapidly products that the company expects will form the pulse of its future sales. ECI use the percent of sales from new products as one of its innovation and improvement methods. In addition, some company overlay specific improvements go for the existing process. Another define estimates specific rise rate of improvements of one time daily cycle time dispatch rate and years. This is another example. The innovation and learning objectives are intended to drive improvement in financial, customer, and internal process performance. As after such improvements come from product and service innovations that would create new sources of revenue as market expansion as well as from continued improvement in internal work process. The first objective was measured by percent revenue from new service and second objective by a continued improvement index that represented the rate of improvements of service key operation measures such as safety and rework. But in order to drive both product service innovation and operation improvements, a support line mix of empowers, motivate employees was really necessary. A step-attitude survey and a matrix for the number of employees suggestions measure whether or not such employment was being raised. Finally, revenue per employee measure that outcome of employee commitment and training program.
Move to the financial perspective. How do we look to shareholder? Financial performance measure indicate whether the company's strategy, implementation, and execution are contributing to bottom line improvement. A typical financial goals have to do with profitability, growth, and shareholder value. For example, you can see the ECI financial perspective on the slide. States financial goals simply to survive, to succeed, and to prosper. And survival was measured by cash flow, success by quarterly sales growth, and operating income by division, and prosperity by increased market share by segment and return on equity. But the question is that today's fast changing business environment, should senior manager even look at the business from a financial perspective? Some critics argue that the term of competition have changed and that traditional financial measures do not improve customer satisfaction, quality, cycle time, and employee motivation. In their view, financial performance is the result of operational action, and financial success should be the logical consequence of doing the fundamental well. And in other words, companies should stop navigating by financial measure by making fundamental improvements in their operations. the financial number will take care of themselves. But the answer is that financial measures are necessary to the company, and a well-designed financial control system can actually enhance an organized total quality management program. However, the link between improved operating performance and financial success is quite tenuous and uncertain. We will explain clearly the link between improved operating performance and financial success with an example below. An, N- an NYSE electronic company make an order of magnitude improvement in quality and on-time delivery performance. An outgoing defect rate dropped from 500 parts per million to 50. On-time delivery improved from 70% to 96%, and yield increased from 26% to 51%. But unfortunately, the considerable improvements in manufacturing capabilities had not been translated into increased profitability. Slow release of new product, failure to expand marketing to new and increased demand customer prevented the company from realizing the benefits of its manufacturing achievement. The operation achievements were real, but the company had failed to capitalize on them, and the disparity between improved operational performance and disappointing financial measure create frustration for senior executives. But the hard truth is that if improved performance failed to be reflected in the bottom line, executives should re-examine the basic assumption of their strategy and mission. Not all long-term strategy are profitable strategy. And in conclusion, the scorecard put strategy and vision at the center. It established goals, but to assume that people will adopt whatever behavior and take whatever action are necessary to arrive at those goals, to pull people toward the overall vision. And even an excellent set of balanced scorecard measure does not guarantee a winning strategy. It can only translate a company strategy into specific measurable objectives, and a failure to convert improved operational performance into improved financial performance should be send executives back to their drawing board to rethink the company's strategy or its implementation plan. And by combining the financial, customer, internal process, and innovation and organizational learning perspective, the balanced scorecard help manager understanding many interrelationship, and more as well as it help manager transcend traditional notion about functional barrier and lead to improve decision making and problem solving. The balanced scorecard keeps company looking forward instead of backward. And this is the end of our presentation. If you have any question, we will be glad to answer them. And thank you for listening.